Good morning. It is still morning. I went to work last night. I went to work yesterday morning, and I just got home about an hour ago, approximately an hour ago. I changed my glasses because these have some wicked glare. Yeah, about an hour ago I got back. Planted corn pretty much all night. I took a 3-hour nap from 12:30 to 3:30. Not quite 3:30, but you know. Something like that. We'll just say 12:30, 3:30. So when I woke up, I decided that I would get back to work, and then I got done. I hit my head really hard the day before. Maybe that was yesterday morning. You can see it. The hell of a bang. Anyways, when I got back, I wanted to sit in a different seat for a little bit, and that was my pickup truck. And I decided, I'm going to sit in this seat because it's different than a 6210R seat. And things would be okay. So I decided, how come that thing says it wasn't ejected properly? That's a little horse shit. Anyway, I'm sitting there. And I'm looking at my phone, which is not what I'm looking at right now, but I'm looking at my phone, and I'm looking at these, they're not reels. Well, maybe they were reels, but whatever. I was just looking through my phone. I guess it was Instagram or whatever, which is fine. Oh my God, why doesn't this thing work? I'm trying to work on my, give me this. I need to format my, who's it? Sounds, sound code, LED, format. So, and on there, a couple weeks ago, I had pretty much made a video about Gen Z and how they just ain't quite there, And I'm watching this video, and it was a girl. She's like blaming people that are my age and older for the economy that we are living in right now. It's like, okay. So she's like, I'm not going to work the rest of my life, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, so that I can barely afford to do anything. I think to myself, okay, so I'm a farmer. I work a lot more hours than most people. I really do. I work a whole lot of hours. As a matter of fact, I got up at 5:30 yesterday morning. I didn't get up at 4:30 yesterday, but 5:30 yesterday morning, I got up, and I did a thing for my wife. She wanted a trellis built in the garden so that she could make the tomatoes and bitter melons and other things, cucumbers, climb up the trellis, and then she could walk through the tunnel and pick the stuff as it came through. Excellent idea, right? Yes, it was. It was awesome. So, 5:30, I got home today after leaving the house at 7 o'clock. I left the house 7 o'clock after I did that work for my wife. And I didn't get home from the field back to the farm until 10:30. It's 12 o'clock now. I got back to the house here by 11 o'clock. There you go. All right, so then I sat in the truck for a little bit, and I'm watching that reel, and this girl who's maybe 23, 22, bitching about how hard she has to work to make ends meet, as though none of us do. As though none of us do. We broke it, we owe them. We broke it, we owe them. Well, a little bit ago, like just before I turned this computer on to actually make this video, I was watching another Instagram reel. And it was the talking toilet brush. Yes, Corinne Jean-Pierre, the queer that stands up at the podium every day. Yes, I will call her a queer. It's perfectly fine. She is queer. She's lesbian, queer, whatever you want to call these people. They make it public. You can call them that. When they make their sexual identity public, you can call them whatever you want to call them. And she's queer. So anyway, she gets on there, and she's like, they were talking about these student loan debt forgiveness that is unconstitutional, was ruled against by the Supreme Court. And AOC, the lovely demon rat that she is, she's just a fucking bartender that won a lottery ticket by getting elected into the Congress, which, God bless her. I mean, she sounds, you can't even stand to listen to her because she's as dumb as she sounds. But people say that about me too. You don't know how it works. Now, I've only been alive for almost 52 years, and I've lived through this mess, and I'm pretty sure I know how this works. So, anyway, the talking toilet brush gets asked a question about this $30,000 checks that they're giving to these kids, these kids. They're not kids anymore. They're full-blown adults. They were adults when they took out the loan for their college education. They're adults today. They're not children. They're somebody's children, but they're not children. They're not little kids anymore. They make it sound like they're little, William-aged 5-year-olds that are, stole from the candy store and, cut him some slack. He's only 5. Give me a fucking break. These people are in their 20s. They made the decision to go borrow that money to get an education. I'm sorry you picked a shitty occupation to go learn how to do. I mean, a little research. You could have been a nurse making good money. Could have been a doctor. You'll make good money. You could have been a lawyer. You'd make good money, especially in today's lawfare, that shit. And, you could have said, you know what, I'm going to be a plumber, or I'm going to be, a pipe fitter is the new word. They don't like the word plumber. I mean, what the hell? Electrician? What are they, electrical engineers now or whatever? Anyway, you could have done anything you wanted, but you picked art and design. You ever hear, 30 years ago, there used to be this starving artist sales? Wasn't that an indication that art and design was a fucking joke? And you go out and you spent $30, $40, $50, $150, $200,000. They're all whining like, oh my God, we've got a $100,000 debt. Well, oh well. Welcome to the real world. You make choices in life. Good ones, bad ones. Good ones, bad ones. Depends on which side of the aisle you're on. You made a bad choice. Now pay for it, just like we did, the older generation. We made these mistakes. We fucked up. The only difference is we didn't have social media to come out here and say, oh my God, the world is against us. The world is against everybody. Go back to the 1930s and ask the Jews how friendly the world was to them. Go back to any time in history. There's a group of people that have been oppressed. We can talk about slavery. Go ask the blacks in 1850 what they thought about getting up every morning and going to work. Yeah, they had it pretty rough. And all you're complaining about is you can't afford your $5 fucking coffee and your $1,500 telephone, and you can't afford to do anything that you want to do. Well, we couldn't either. That's why we pulled ourselves up by the bootstraps. Got a little bit of experience under our belts. And then we started making a little more money. Taking a little more risk. Calculated risk. Not this promised of my liberal arts degree was going to bring me money or whatever. Christ. So we're getting blamed for this nonsense. And they want to say and the only reason that that's happening is because Biden needs votes and he wants the young vote, which is fine. Get the young vote. Problem is, you dummies, when they cut you checks for $30,000 to pay down your debt, that increases the inflation. It's putting good money on chasing bad money, or bad money chasing good money. I don't even know which way that would be. You can't print money to give to a group of people that didn't earn it. You can't print money to give to a group of people that made bad decisions to bail them out. Because if I fail, if I can't pay my bills, guess what? They take my assets. I'm sorry you haven't had the experience in life to gain any assets. You will at some point, and you are going to work 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week at some point in your life, because you're going to want something, and you're going to want it bad enough that you're going to say, you know what? I want to take that European vacation. Hey, Starbucks manager, can I please have a couple extra days because I really want to tour Europe for a month in July, the month of July. And you'll work really hard, just like we did. Hey, I want a new F-350 pickup truck. Well, you're only 18 years old. You can't afford it. We won't give you credit for that. what are you going to do? Work harder, earn some money, go out and buy myself a brand new F-350 pickup truck. Done it a couple of times already. Yeah, so I don't get this generation of people. So back to the talking toilet brush and this question. The guy's like, so if you're going to give $30,000 to people that made bad choices in life, and bad choices in their education, because let's face it, get a different education. I mean, Bernie Sanders was in school till he was almost 40, or maybe he was 40 when he graduated. That man didn't know what the fuck he was going to do. And he still didn't. So he got elected as a Democrat. Well, he was actually a socialist, and now he's turned Democrat, which, in my opinion, isn't much different. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. Right. So let's say we stop whining and complaining about your situation and do something about your situation, because for the people, by the people is how the government's supposed to work, not by the government, for the government. That's not how it's supposed to work. It isn't. It's for the people, by the people. If you want something, you work hard for it, and you get it. That's how you obtain stuff. If you can't do that, I'm sorry, you fucked up. This is the land of opportunity. I'm just some dumb farmer that plays in the dirt, and I seem to be doing okay. Nobody handed me anything. I don't have any free tractors that were given to me. I had the use of equipment, but I had to pay dividends to use it. Like a lot of work for a lot of years with no reward just so I could use the damn equipment. I didn't get paid for it, the work that I did. I got paid in the use of the equipment, which was pretty well junk by the time I got to it. And I had to weld and weld and weld. I would work for 3 days, weld for one. Work for 3 days, weld for another. That's how we kept it going until I could actually afford to buy the things I needed to buy. But I wanted it bad enough. These kids don't want it. They want it given to them. I'm sorry, you little snot-nosed fucks. Grow up. Get a job. If you don't like the pay that you're getting, get a little experience. Get a better job. If you don't like that job, get a different job. We're not in communist China where they assign you work. You can go get an education. You can learn a lot from the internet. College is actually obsolete, if you ask me. If I wanted to go find the square root of 4,392, I could go on here and look it up. I have no clue other than I'd have to go Google the damn thing or DuckDuckGo it. I have no idea. So I don't have to go spend $250,000 at a college to figure it out. I can do that in 30 seconds with a 14-year-old computer I paid $4,000 for 14 years ago. Yeah, I wanted the computer really bad, so I worked really hard, and I saved up my money, and I was able to buy it. Wow, what a concept. Anyway, I'm just rambling on. I'm really tired because I've been up for over 30 hours because I was working all that time. Because you know what? I want something. There's something I want really, really, really bad. And in order for me to get it, I have to work really, really, really hard. And that means work, to get it. That's what it is. Because it's going to benefit my family in the end. So, with that being said, have a nice day. And I don't know where I'm going to put this, but it's a good old rant. I may as well throw it up wherever I want.